Okay, we're going to be discussing and talking about the road test, what you guys need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and share this information with you. We're going to go over this. And then as I'm going along, I need you to put in some questions along the way to help you understand. And then we're going to continue on forward. So we want to continue and elevate. I thought driving was really good today. A lot of students have made increased comfort. They're making better decisions, better speed control, three-point turns, going through the roundabouts, merging on the expressway, maneuverability around big cyber trucks, going into neighborhoods where there are large areas where you really have to turn the wheel. So I know where to take you as an instructor, but you got to you have to want and be willing to get better. And most of you will do well. Typically, there are students who do fall along the cracks, and we're going to talk about how they fall, why they fail. And I think this is really going to be helpful to you. And if you really want to pass the test, you should be listening. Failing the road test can happen for a variety of reasons, ranging from minor mistakes to critical errors. A minor mistake is maybe bumping the curb. A critical error is running the light. A critical error is going in the wrong lane. So I'm going to go over 30 factors that cause teens and adults to fail, along with examples of passing and failing scenarios. So if you really want to learn, you need to be listening. The chat will be open, and I need you to put questions in along the way. So all of you are learning. Number one, failure to obey traffic signs and signals. All of you should know, unless you're colorblind, red is the light at the top, yellow in the middle, green is at the bottom. I've driven students who are colorblind. So you as a beginning driver need to understand the light. Some lights turn fast, some lights turn slow. The cycle varies. So most of them are based on the volume of traffic. So you as a beginning driver, you just got to calm down. Look at the intersection. Passing, coming to a complete stop at a stop sign before proceeding. That's basic. But a lot of you, in terms of beginning drivers, won't do that. So build good habits and stop. If you're in your neighborhood and there's a stop sign, stop. If you have a neighborhood that has a yield sign, and a lot of your neighborhoods don't have those, yield. If a vehicle comes, your yield becomes a slowdown. You let cars go by. So failing, rolling stops through a stop sign without stopping. That is failing. And it seems so minimal, but a lot of beginners don't do that. Number two, improper lane usage. Passing is staying in the correct lane. If you're making a right turn, you turn in the nearest lane. Okay, well, what if the first lane to the right is blocked? You complete your turn, you turn on your blinker, you look over your shoulder, you check, and you get to the next available lane. Always take control of your destiny, and that's what I need all of you to do. I need you to drive with a purpose. And when you drive with a purpose, you're going to be more successful. So stay in the correct lane using your signal. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you enjoy my live. It's really going to be fun today. Please put in your questions. Let's keep going. Drifting into the bike lane. We saw a bike lane today. The major lane is cut. It becomes a skinny lane. There's a bike lane about 3 to 5 feet. You cannot drive there. It's specifically for bikes. You need to know what that is. Next, number three, incomplete stops. That goes back to bad habits. If you or your instructor gets lazy and you start rolling through stop signs, your mom and dad don't correct you, you roll through stop signs, you get lazy in your neighborhood, you roll through stop signs, you're going to get a ticket because you don't have good fundamentals and habits. And you're going to blow through a stop sign, and you're going to get a ticket, which is a moving violation or civil infraction. Go. Hurry up. Make sure you come back. So you want to stop behind the stop line. That's that big, thick white line or stop bar. You need to stop behind her. So important. Next, let's keep going. Maintaining or driving too slow. Many of you still drive too slow. That second, that third, that fourth drive, you drive too slow. I had a road test waiver to get my license. That is good, but you still need to practice, and my class will help you. Tell your friends we're online. If you get a road test waiver for a unique situation, you still have to practice. We're talking about driving as a lifelong skill. Driving teachers teach year round. Driver's education goes on year round. Now, if it's really bad weather, snow, fog, rain, obviously it stops till the bad weather's done, but we teach year round. So you have to be this good driver. We're talking about 5, 7, 10 years from now. You don't get your license for one day and, oh, I'm a bad driver. You don't get it for 30 days, oh, I'm a bad driver. You don't get it for 45 days. Most of you will be driving around your 11th grade year, a 10th grade year, okay? So you as a person want to get better. You want to go to Chicago. You want to go to Cedar Point. You want to go to Windsor, Ontario. You want to go to Dallas, Texas. You want to go on those road trips because part of you, when you become a junior, senior, you're going to go to Florida. You're going to go to Atlanta, Georgia. But if you don't know how to drive, you know no directions, you won't go. Okay? Your parents are really important when they teach you, and they need to make time for you. And we'll talk about that as we go along. Parents need to teach you and support you 100%. At the beginning, you will drive too slow. And if you go under the speed limit, that is automatic failure. Example, going 35, we're talking about first driving too slow. Going too slow can impede traffic. It's a dangerous situation. Going too fast. So let's use the speed limit is 25, but you're going 35. You're going 10 over. Okay? And now you're going to get a ticket, automatic failure, because you're not showing the road tester you had the discipline to control your vehicle, and it's automatic failure. Well, you can't say, well, the road tester failed me. You failed yourself. Really important. Thank you for the follow. Let's keep going. All right, let's talk about poor steering control. A lot of you are still using one hand. You will crash. How many times do I need to tell you? On your road test, if you drive in one hand, you're going to fail. That is a dangerous controlled maneuver. And many of you say the road tester let me drive in one hand. No, you don't have a good road tester. Because if you drive in one hand and someone pulls out in front of you, a kid goes out in front of you, you're going to swerve it up or down. If you have both hands on the wheel, you can do a controlled maneuver. So it's real out here. So poor steering control is one of the biggest things I see for you as beginning drivers. You make the wheel too small at the top. You put your hands at the bottom of the wheel. Have both of your hands on the wheel. I don't care what your parents do. I don't care what your parents do. If you want to pass your test, have both hands on the wheel. Letting the wheel slip through the hands is failure. A lot of people leave comments, this, that. You're not really taking your road test. You're just doing some random stuff. It's true. Okay? Keep both hands on the wheel, 9 and 3, 10 and 2, or 7 and 5. Letting the wheel spin through your hands potentially could be automatic failure. Let's talk about failure and yield the right of way. A lot of beginners, and we go through 4-way stops, 3-way stops, roundabouts. Many of you, 80% of you, don't understand yield the right of way. I need each of you to put in an example of yield the right of way. Okay? Again, put in an example of yielding the right of way. Please do this right now. How do you get over nervousness? First of all, you need to follow me. I'm a state certified driving instructor. And if I go on here an hour or 2 hours, I'm going to help you answer. It's called gradual exposure. You start in your neighborhood. You start in a comfortable area. You go from your home to school, from school to your job. Gradual exposure. Okay? Slow down and be ready to stop. Thank you. I'm looking for 20,000 likes, 20,000 hearts. We need to make this happen tonight. Let's go. I'm looking for those glitter badges. Let's get it, baby. Okay, rules of the right of way. Cars on the expressway have the right of way when you're merging. If a car gets at the intersection before you, they have the right of way. If 4 cars come together at the same time, the car on the right has the right of way. If you're not sure, then what you need to do is give them the right of way. Because it still happens today. We're on drive 3. You don't know the rules of the right of way. We're on drive 4. You don't know the rules of the right of way. We're on drive 5. That's an easy way to fail and have an accident, particularly in your neighborhoods, because a lot of drivers get relaxed. They take off their seatbelt. They're not paying attention. They get on the phone. And then someone from an opposite direction you don't see hits you. Okay? It happens all the time. I see it every day. I'm not going to lie to you. Passing, waiting for pedestrian to fully cross. Failing, cutting off a pedestrian at a crosswalk. That's a great way to fail. And then you're going to cry and say, my road tester failed me. No, you failed a road test because you made a major error. All road testers have an evaluation sheet. I can't show it to you. They have an evaluation sheet. You have to approach the intersection. You have to yield a right of way. There's a lot of material. And some of you simply are not ready for the road test. I'm nervous. I have anxiety. I don't have enough time. Because I teach segment 2. You have to be 16 and have 50 hours to drive. A lot of students don't have 50 hours. Some are 17. Some are 18. Some of your nieces and nephews are going to wait till they're 18. I'll just wait till I'm 18 to take the state test. Okay, but you still need practice. Next, let's talk about improper turns. A lot of questions I get, how do I make a right turn? Go in slow to your turn and gently accelerate out. Would you recommend paying money for a private test? Yes, that is recommended. You need to reach out to me and click the link, reach out to me. Yes, I can give you information. Private tests are good. Private instruction are good. I've done those before. I've taught adults. I've taught teens. I've taught people in their 30s and 40s and 50s. Everyone is different. Sometimes people need a personal coach one-on-one, and that's so important. Okay? So improper turns in the closest lane without crossing lines. Swinging wide. A lot of you are still going too fast into the turn and going across the left side of the street. Automatic failure. You look at me, I look at you. You don't have control of your car. I'm not going to rescue you anymore. You have to know what you're doing. I talk to your parents. They're very nice. They're very caring. And I let them know, hey, you need work. Or, hey, you have 1s and you should have 3s. Or you have a 0 because you made a huge mistake. I'm not going to lie to your parents. And your parents will cut my head off. You better be telling me the truth. One parent said that to me today. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Okay, because I'm not going to lie to you and your parent to say you're good to drive and then you crash the whip. Okay? So not checking blind spots. A lot of you are looking over the wrong shoulder, or you're scared to make a quick blind spot check. Look over your shoulder. Look where you're going. Okay? In terms of steering, hand over hand is the most effective for parallel parking and making right turns. The argument is hand over hand or hand to hand. That'll be going on forever. And people love making 2 videos. Oh, I'm going to do a hand over hand, a hand to hand. The large majority of your parents turn hand over hand. You watch me, you watch your mom, you watch your dad, you watch your sister, you watch video games. You will turn in a way that's comfortable for you. But if you're trying to parallel park in a small, tight space, you got to turn hand over hand. We're preparing you for the road test. And that's really important. If you get put off for speeding, you're going to get a ticket and lose your license because you didn't learn that you should not be speeding. So relying only on mirrors, hitting a cone during parallel parking, because we're doing a lot of 3-point turnarounds, a lot of you are looking out your back window. And I feel good, and I tell you that. So you really need to know what you're doing. Unsafe backing. Let's talk about this. Checking mirrors and looking over your shoulder while reversing. That's passing. Backing up without looking or nearly hitting the curb, that's failing. A lot of you would do that because your instructor really did not hit those foundational tools. Because I drive other instructors' students. I can tell if your instructor has taught you. I can tell if they let you go. And then you're going to be a reckless driver, not getting your license and fail your road test a second or third time, and then you're going to be crying. That's on you. Okay? No, son, I don't, because I have a perfect driving record. So, Lord, you are wrong. Clock that.
Myles, real quick.
Yeah.
Angelina, you hear me? You need to stop talking. Okay? Nod your head that yes, I understand. I shouldn't have to do this at this point in time. With this secure location, the people won't be calling for you. Please, you can stay in by yourself. Thank you.
Angelina, you hear my man's talk to you? If we got to address you again, I'm putting you out, bro. Don't care. Okay, Curtis, Angelina, that's it. If he reminds you again, you're going to lose credit. I'm just being real with you. 100% deuces. I'm going to clock that. So we call you again. You can tell your mom and dad. Don't care. Driving is a privilege, not a right. All of you need to understand this. And this is why you guys are here in some makeup class, because you messed up or you got in trouble or you got a makeup. So we shouldn't have to remind you of this. It is what it is. If you care about it, you'll listen. If you don't, then you don't. Tell your parents that, please, and thank you. So let's talk about parallel parking. Parallel parking is one of the most important things, and a lot of you won't be able to parallel park. Our state and a lot of states mandate parallel parking. You have to be able to line your car, reverse back at a 45 angle, turn the wheels all the way to the right, back in within 12 inches or less from the curb. If you hit the curb, failure. If you're more than 12 inches out, failure. What don't you guys understand? Your parents don't practice it with you. You don't practice when you go to downtown areas. You're embarrassed if you got a bunch of friends in the car and you can't parallel park. So you got to get ready during your probationary period and your intermediate period to get better. Thank you for that gift. Real talk. You have to get better. And the only way you do that is put in work, work, work. Real talk. So passing is parking within 12 inches of the curb and not hitting it. Okay? Next. Failing is being 2 feet away from the curb. After I made my turn, can I let it flow with my... No, automatic failure. I went over that. No, turn out. Let's keep going. Failure to use turn signals. It's one of the most basic things because you got to be considerate of other drivers. And if you really want to learn, you got to start caring more about other people than yourself. And as I sit here online looking at faces or names, I care about you more than anyone else right now because I'm in the car with you. And if you make a mistake, we go off the road. If you're not paying attention, Lil, can we see your face, please? Can we just see your face? Can you put the camera down? Can you put your computer down? We're not going to ask you. I'm just going to have you removed. So put it down or leave. Make your decision. I need that camera or phone down. If I'm going to see half your face, you going to go. I already asked you that. And then your parents are going to say, what happened? I'm going to say, look at the video. I don't want to have to address you anymore. Do you understand me?
Is it not?
Girl, come on, stop playing with me. We don't see your face.
Okay.
So don't play. If you don't want to be here, tell me. We trying to teach. We trying to learn. We're not going to beg high school students to stay on camera. Don't play, girl. Nick, you okay? Nick, why don't you turn on your light, big dog? Nick up over there in the dark, like he outside playing boo-boo. Turn on the light, son. Don't play. Y'all are playing too much. But the truth is here. We trying to help you. We trying to get you going. You okay, Grace? Don't cry. You all right? Uh-huh. All right, Grace. Stay on point. So I really take driving serious, and a lot of you just don't. It's not important to you. You're sitting in the light. You're asking random questions. If you really want to learn, here it is. I take my driving test Tuesday. I'm so nervous. Listen to what I'm saying. Take notes. Ask questions. All right, let's go back. All right, so failure to signal. You got to signal. What up, Brooklyn? How you doing? You got to signal 100 feet, a half a block. This lets people behind you know, hey, I'm turning. The worst feeling is being hit from behind, and you know you could have reduced it. Many of you are checking the mirror more now. I applaud you because we're trying to ingrain that into you. You are better than my last month's class, but it takes a lot of energy. Some of you are making good progress. Some of you are making slow progress. It depends on the environment that we are driving in. When you're going around a curve, you want to squeeze your brake before you go into the curve. Beginning drivers go too fast and they lose control. So slow down before you enter the curve. Stopping too close to vehicles. Passing is leaving a safe distance 3 to 4 seconds behind. Failing is tailgating. Some of you were tailgating today. We couldn't see the rear of the tires. And if we get hit, we're going to have the second collision hit the other car. I'm trying to prevent us from being in danger, but a lot of you don't understand danger yet. And that's what a good teacher does. Next, ignoring school zones. Many of you are in school, college, community college. Slow down to 25 miles an hour in a school zone. Failing is speeding through a school zone during active hours. It's your responsibility. Your mom won't be telling you this. Your dad won't be telling you this. Your uncle, your auntie. You have a person who is an expert in the area. You need to learn. Hey, I need 20K. I'm looking at 670. Come on, team. Let's get it. What's up, Kylie? Let's keep going. Improper merge. Matching the speed smoothly. That's passing. Failing is stopping or going too slow. We did that today. We were going too slow on the ramp. Traffic is in the average of about 77 miles an hour. We got to get up to speed and sit in that first lane and calm down and start driving. Right turn, running red lights. A lot of beginners do that. Passing or stopping safely at a yellow light if possible. If you can stop safely in 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, you slow down. If you can't stop, you proceed with caution, but you still can get a ticket for running a yellow light. Okay? So that is so important that you build good habits of not running yellow lights. That's an automatic failure. You got to really practice. And from reading some of the comments, you're saying a lot of you aren't really practicing. You're doing that fake practice, going around the block one time, and I'm good for the test. You could pass, you could not. Most likely, you might barely pass. And then when traffic comes, you're going to run a light and have an accident. I don't want that to happen to you. Real talk. Hesitation. A lot of you hesitate. Being overly cautious, going into a roundabout, making a left turn, merging on the expressway. You have to really understand the environment, and it's my job to teach you and help you. I asked to be in this profession. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to be a driving instructor and just teach people. I asked to be here because I have a fondness with cars, and I like students to reach the next goal. A lot of you are the future, but you don't realize it because you don't prepare properly. And if you don't prepare properly, you're going to struggle. Real talk. I don't want you to struggle. Adjusting for the weather conditions. Turning on your headlights in rain or snow. Failing is driving too fast on wet roads. Also, failing is waiting too long at a green light, causing a traffic backup. Many of you do this making left turns because you pause. You look to the left, you look to right, but I need you to look straight at oncoming traffic. So I have to tell you, look straight. Oh, you're like, okay, I got it. Now let's keep going. I'm trying to get 20K. I'm at almost 1K. I'm at 966. I need you guys to contribute. Let's keep going. Not scanning at intersections. That's one of the biggest things I see. And if I tell you in your first drive, your second drive, your third drive, you're really going to excel. And I go back to Blake. I know you hate on Blake, but Blake does a good job. Okay? Carson is starting to do a good job. Okay? Benjamin is starting to do a good job. They're checking traffic before they make a left turn. I'm going to describe to you how my drivers went today. Nina, I thought did pretty good. Good speed control. We're a little tired in the morning. It happens. We're human. But we had to get on the freeway. We got gas. We had good speed control. It takes a few minutes to get out there and drive, right? Sophia did a good job, good speed control once you get comfortable. And then Anna did a nice job because if you drive back to back to back with your instructor's going to start learning your personality. You're going to start learning what I need to see you do, and the open communication is there. You're not nervous if I tell you, hey, I need you to check your blind spot. You're not scared if I tell you you're going too slow. You're not scared if I tell you look over your shoulder. A good instructor is supposed to tell you what you're doing wrong. And don't take it personal. I'm trying to get you better, okay? Let's talk about Carson. Carson had good speed control, learning how to drive on the expressway, had nice right turns, left turns, going through unusual roundabouts, kind of in a rural area. That's a little bit different than doing a roundabout in a city. I want to encourage you to have your friends come on. Let's go. Next, I thought Blake did a good job, had good speed control. Parking is really good. Had a nice merge on the expressway, kept his speed up. Blake had a lot of semi trucks And he had to pick up speed, slow down, pick up speed, slow down, make a lane change, not stay in cars' blind spots. We're in the left lane, cars are flying. If we get back to the right, we're going to be behind the truck. So Benjamin was very flexible at taking good coaching. And then Blake did a good job. So sometimes you hate on people who are at the top, but Blake is on top because he's got good speed control. He's got a good observation. He looks to the left. He looks to the right. Why not tell you about a person who's doing well and tell you what they're doing well on, and you do as well as him or better? Okay, Emily's doing a good job, good steering. Natalie's doing a good job, good steering, good speed control. Okay, so we're starting to get better all the time, and it's positive manifestation all the time. I'm always trying to be positive. You'll never run into a more positive person than me. Sincere did a good job on the expressway, nice speed control. He said he had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Good speed control. Went to downtown. We saw the Cybertrucks. We went over to Grace's neighborhood, backed in driveways, 3-point turnarounds, narrow driveways. That's where a lot of you are learning how to drive, because I'm taking you to more difficult areas. And if I want you to get better, I'm going to take you to difficult areas. I'm not going to waste your time and just have you drive straight. That's boring. And if your instructor's doing that, you're not learning. So I can look at my students and think of what they did, okay, and just improving. Leo had a nice drive too, pretty consistent, smooth. So we're just always trying to get better every single time, okay. Jenny had a good speed control. Nice job. Jenny drives tomorrow. You know, sunshine, happy, kind of witty sense of humor. I like people with senses of humor, right? I don't like people who just sit there looking all sad and tired. Bring your energy up. Come on, let's bring life up in here, right? So you got to scan intersections. That's the most dangerous area that we could have an accident. And I learned that in my training. And I'm always supporting you. Like, I side eye you, but I'm looking in the front. I'm looking to the left. I'm looking to the right. Click the link in the bio. Set up a coaching call with me. Then I can tell you. Okay, let's keep going. Improper use of high beams. Some of you, when you're turning on the blinker, turn on your high beams. So you got to make sure your high beam lights are not on. There's a little blue light on the dashboard. That means your high beam's on. And I simply cut it off because you're already overloaded. Blinding other drivers with high beams. That does happen. Stalling your vehicle, whether you're driving an automatic or manual. If you hit the gas, let off, hit the gas, let off, you're going to lose points. I'm happy you got your license on Friday. Now you need to start watching my videos and follow me and join my live, and then I can help you. Let's keep going. Ignoring the examiner. If your examiner tells you to make a right turn, he or she is not going to put you in a dangerous maneuver. Listen to them. They're a state examiner. They've done this. Okay? I know examiners. I have an examiner on my phone. Okay? And you simply got to be prepared. And that's so important. Your parents are going to take you out. Not following directions, making an illegal turn because you're confused. And then you blame it on the examiner. That's your fault. So don't put a comment in, the examiner failed me. My road tester failed me. No, you failed yourself. That's so random. Have ownership in what you do. Rolling back on a hill. This is why you put your park brake up. You put it in park, you pull up your park brake. I heard someone this morning when I left the office. I heard that park brake go up, then they got out of the car. I'm like, great. Rolling backwards more than a foot. That causes a collision. Okay? How you park brake on. Not yielding for emergency vehicles. Pulling over safely for the sirens. If you can pull over in time, pull over. If you can't, you pause. You let them drive around. You don't block an ambulance by not moving. Get over to the right if possible. Stopping on a railroad track. Okay, I need you to put some questions in. Okay? For our road test, how long do we drive? It's about 45 minutes. You drive for about 45 minutes. They're going to take you in a residential neighborhood. They're going to take you in an industrial business district. You're going to go on the main thoroughfares. You might go through some roundabouts. You're going to make right turns, left turns, lane changing. They have about 4 routes that they take people on. Many of you say, I just went around the block and passed my test. Wrong. You're not telling the truth. You're lying, right? What up? How you doing? What's up, sport? You're my favorite student too. Drop some hearts, drop some likes. I'm trying to get to 20K. So a true road tester will take you in all areas. A lazy road tester will get reported to the state and they're going to lose their license. So I don't believe, well, my road tester just took me around the block. No, your road tester just took your money. And then they're going to endorse that you can drive. And if you have a crash, your family can say, I thought your road tester said you can pass. I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue the state, and I'm going to sue the driving school. When I sign my signature on your drive card, I'm saying you've met the criteria. Okay? If you're not meeting the criteria, I'm not going to sign it. Right? If you miss a day, you call corporate. They'll set it up. I have nothing to do with that. Right? Let's drop that glitter. Keep dropping that glitter. Because my job is to teach you driving, schedule you driving, go over this information. You miss a day, you call corporate. They handle that. And I know my pay grade. I know my role. So call corporate. Stopping on railroad tracks, you never want to do that. You like some tips? I'm going over them right now. First tip, I need you to drop some hearts, drop some likes. Okay, tips. Improper three-point turn. Passing is completing the turn safely within a roadway. Failing is hitting the curb or taking too many attempts. That's the tip. Next tip, not using the park brake. Passing is engaging the park brake while on the hill. That's passing. Failing is letting the car roll backwards after you put it in park. That is failing. Giving you tips. Do you use the park brake only when the car is parked, or sometimes if you're on a hill, use your park brake on a hill? Because if you're parking downhill, you pull your park brake up, you turn your front wheels all the way to the right. If you're parking uphill, you turn your wheels all the way to the left. If the car rolls out of gear backwards, the car will roll reverse and go over the curb. So have your park brake on when you're doing hills. If you have a manual, you always should have your park brake on. Most of you are driving automatics. 90% of you are driving automatics. Okay? Panic reactions. Failing is jerking the wheel or losing control. Passing is staying calm. An example, a kid runs out. You squeeze the brake. You steer to an open area. Okay? So we as drivers, we were driving and a kid was on a little electric scooter kind of swerving towards. If you're on the street, you need to be going with the flow of the traffic. This kid was going on the opposite side. How was your first behind the wheel today? Hopefully it was good. What do you think about hydroplaning? This means you're going too fast. Slow down. Not checking mirror frequently. More of you are checking mirrors. Blake does a good job of that. Emily does a good job of that. Steele does a good job of that. You've got to check your mirror more often. Really important. Hey, let's get those roses. You saw that smile. So you got to check your mirror, not noticing a car approaching you in the rear view. So I got to remind you more, and that big white mirror we have definitely helped you. Thank you for sending me a gift. Let's keep going. Let's get that +1, +2. Let's get those roses. Let's keep going. Tips to pass. Practice frequently. Review the driving manual, whether it's in Texas, Nebraska, it doesn't matter. Review your driving manual. I had a neighbor stop by. They were from Bosnia. They said, hey, you do driving? I said, yeah. First, you got to go to Secretary of State and take the practice test. Okay? Got to take the practice test. Stay calm. Nervousness leads to mistakes. Observe all traffic laws, even small ones. We talked about rolling stop signs. Causing a near-death situation. Example, pulling out in front of another car, forcing them to brake hard. That's automatic failure. You will automatically fail if you pull out in front of a car and they slam brakes and you have to swerve. The examiner won't risk unsafe driving behaviors. You can make small micro mistakes with me because I can turn the wheel. Are you able to give back only? I help all drivers. So you need to reach out and click the link in the bio and then set up a coaching call with me. Yes, I am the funny guy, but it's not funny. Okay, let's keep going. You hit a curb. This shows that you have poor vehicle control and could damage property. Hitting the curb during parallel parking. I teach you to pass the test. Can you dry steer parallel park? The car will be moving. And let's talk about that dry steering. For every You can turn the steering wheel up to about 3 times. After 3 times, you'll get a deduction, and we'll go over the actual test. So you should line up, reverse back at a 45 angle. You turn your wheel all the way to the right. You're going at a 45 angle. What's up, Devin? How you doing? What's happening? You go in at a 45 angle. You keep reversing in. You turn the wheel back to the left. Dry steering is when you're not moving and you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, all the way to the right. That is bad for the tires. And we'll talk about that, and I'll show you that. Let's keep going. Next, exceeding the speed limit, going 40 in a 20, or even briefly. Why it fails. Speeding is an automatic failure on most road tests. Speeding is automatic. Well, my mom drives fast. That's your mama. Well, my man drives fast. I'm not teaching your man. Well, my side piece drives fast. I'm not teaching your side piece. Right? So you have to have control of you. Real talk. Failure to yield a right of way. Law requires yielding to pedestrians. Speed does kill. Speed doesn't lie. Okay? Speed doesn't lie. So you need to understand that. You speed, you're going to lose control of your car. Next, failure to yield, not stopping for pedestrians, improper merging on the freeway. A lot of you pandered today. I don't know what to do. You push the gas pedal. You accelerate up. Hey, I'm trying to get to 20K. I'm at 4.3K. I need your help. I'm putting in work. Let's always be ready. Okay, improper merging, why it fails. It causes a high-risk situation for other drivers. If you're merging out at 40 and the speed limit 70, you're 30 under the limit. Well, I'm scared. I don't want to push the gas. Then I can't pass you. I guess I'll pick up. You have to pick up. You don't have a choice. Okay, and if you want to be me for a day, I'll sit in the back. I'll let you drive. You're going the wrong way. You're hugging the right, hugging the left. You are scared to look over your shoulder. It's very scary being an instructor, and a lot of you don't realize this. Okay? You don't. So I'm trying to give you that adult responsibility, but driving doesn't make you an adult. Stopping on the expressway for a ramp or matching the speed. Driving too slow, impeding traffic, going 15 and a 35 without a reason. Why it fails. It can be just as dangerous as speeding, because it's an unsafe condition. I taught a woman who was at 35. She was going too slow in a road test. I wasn't there. She told me, she said, yeah, I got a partial license. I have a restricted license. I said, what happened? I was driving too slow. I just put my head down. But she was a slow driver from the beginning. Okay? Reckless or aggressive driving. A lot of you put, can I go 100 in the neighborhood? Delete. Can I go 50 in the neighborhood? Delete. These are kids talking. They're not real people. Real drivers don't speed in a neighborhood. Real drivers don't speed in the school zone. Real drivers respect what instructors are trying to do is so important. So why it fails, demonstrating poor judgment. A lot of you have poor judgment. Well, what do you mean? You don't yield at a roundabout. I had to turn the wheel because you almost hit the curb. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sleepy. I go to bed at 3 in the morning. Well, don't drive with me if you're going to go to bed at 3 in the morning. Okay? Because you're not ready to drive. And that's real. So I have to take a breath, pray, and then get ready to drive you. Okay? Next, stopping on railroad tracks. Why it fails? Extremely dangerous. Automatic failure in every state. Automatic failure. Not stopping for a school bus. Why it fails? This is illegal and endangers children. What don't you guys understand? You see school buses, they're drivers who are actually getting their commercial driver's license. You're like, is that a school bus? Yeah, it's a school bus. Because there's a shortage of drivers nationwide. Okay? Real talk. Thank you for the hearts. Hey, got that fan club. What up? So there's a shortage of driving instructors and school bus drivers. All your moms and dads can't take you to school. They got to get to work. You get out there and catch that bus. Well, I start school at 8:30. My bus is there at 6:45. So, okay. Repeated stalling, manual transmission, stalling 3 or more times at stop signs or intersections. It shows lack of vehicle control. Really important. Thank you. You guys are firing me up. Thank you. Thank you. That really makes me feel good. Let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. Driving without proper registration or insurance. Example, bringing an uninsured vehicle to the test. You fail. The tester won't even get you started because your car is illegal. Well, I don't have the money. Well, then you shouldn't be driving. Well, I got to drive to work, but my license is expired. Well, you shouldn't be driving. I got to drive. Um, I got to drop my mom off and get the car. Okay, driving without a license, automatic failure. Other common but not always automatic fails: rolling stops, California stops, not checking blind spots, poor parallel parking, forgetting to use signals, hesitating too long. How to avoid automatic fails? Practice, practice, and practice. A lot of you won't do that. Thank you for the hearts. Let's keep putting in work. Let's go. Next, coming to a complete stop. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. What happens if traffic is too heavy? There isn't space. Slow down, keep space. You always can control traffic in front of you. You can't control what's behind you. That's a good question. Slow down, keep space. A lot of beginners don't have proper vehicle control, so they kind of tailgate and tailgate. It's really very suffocating, and it's very scary, okay? And a lot of your parents will take your head off. I told you to slow down. Your daddy gonna take you out. You make me a mess. Some of your moms are gonna take your head off. Then you crying, "Ooh," and then your dad doesn't even talk to you, and you don't really know what's going on. And then you crying again. Some of your parents don't have time to drive you. Trust me, I've driven students whose parents don't have the time. They pay me a huge hourly rate to drive their son or daughter because mom and dad don't have time. How sad. It's true. I need more questions. Put more questions in. So before the test, have your license registration. The examiner will check. Okay, valid registration and insurance. Make sure your headlights and taillights work. They must function. Your horn must function. You can't have a cracked windshield. Put questions in, guys. I need to see questions. I need to see questions. All of you on, put those questions in. How do you turn on your windshield? You don't turn on your windshield, Jen. You turn on your windshield wipers, Jen, not your windshield. There is a switch or a dial that you turn. It turns on a motor, and that motor's connected to a gear that goes back and forth like this, and then there's a blade. There are two blades, and they go back and forth like this. No, that's speeding. If you're under 40, no, that's reckless driving. They're going to take your license. There are a lot of funny people on here right now. Devin, you got to speak truth. Will they still take the test if it's icy or snowy? Don't we live in the Midwest? If it's really snowy or really icy, they won't test. If the conditions are dangerous, they'll postpone the test. But you need to listen to what the state police say. Okay? Bro, I got a lightning bolt. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's keep going. Could you get marked down? Hold on. Could you get marked down for having... No. They're not worried about the windshield wipers. They're worried about you keeping control of the car. You got to keep car control, vehicle control is the most important thing. Okay? Where's the park brake? It is a handle. It's a long handle. You pull it up. It's spring-loaded to activate the park brakes on the rear tires. It's usually, it could be a small pedal on the left side near where the dead pedal is, or it could be in the middle between the seats. Okay, good questions. Will our examiner tell us, no, you don't free drive legs? Great question. They have a state certified course. They have to submit a course to the state. It has to have a certain number of right turns, left turns, roundabouts, going off the freeway once or twice, parking. So it's all a very scripted route that you go on. You can't get points for not being centered. You don't have vehicle control. So no, you don't free drive. They have a route they take you on. Tires and brakes. Your tires need to be bald. Your brakes need to respond well. Required documents, learner's permit, proof of insurance registration, and an appointment confirmation. There's some road testers that you can just walk in with an appointment, but you got to have your proof of insurance and registration. You have to have your learner's permit. Seats, steering and seating position, be comfortable, full pedal control, adjust your mirrors to minimize blind spots. Yes, you can take the test in the manual car. Mirror checks, signal before pulling out. There are people who have failed their road test before they even got out on the road. They don't put on their seatbelt. I'm not going to say names. They don't turn on their blinker. Okay? Smooth acceleration, no jerky movements. Full stop. You want to have a full stop. How do you parallel park? You line your vehicle up, you reverse back at a 45 angle, you turn your wheels all the way to the right. A lot of people ask me how to parallel park, probably have never been in a car, so it's kind of, they don't understand what to do. You can't just tell the person to parallel park, you actually have to show them. And they have to be enrolled in a driving course around that second or third drive. Your instructor will take you out parallel parking. Thank you for the invite. Much love. Check your blind spots. No rolling stops. Signal, parallel parking signal, align, check your mirrors, reverse back. You can't hit the curb. And a lot of people can't parallel park because I've seen many, many tests before, and they have to be able to do it on your own. Your parents are watching. Your driving teacher's watching. And if you can't parallel park, hey, I got a video today. It's on parallel parking. Look at it. I got a video right now. Look at it. Checking gaps. What to avoid. Rolling stops. Distractions. Like a will examiner. Okay. I need you to put in more questions. Come on, let's get some more questions because you get ready to work. Put in more questions. I need 20 questions. I'm going to wait. I need 20. Put a Q and a question. Put a Q in it. What is the youngest age you can take the road test? Depends on what state you're in. Some states have a special provision. If you're the only child and your parents have a serious medical condition, but usually it's going to be 15, 9, or 16. But everyone has a different birth date, and everyone takes driver's ed at a different time. How do you merge on an expressway? You go on a ramp, you accelerate up to speed. Got pulled over in school zone for speeding, but the lights weren't on. You're okay, but you still got to remember there are kids playing at a school even in the summer. So relax. Where do you go when you're taking your road test? Grace, you go into neighborhoods. You go into downtown areas. You go through a roundabout. You're merging on the expressway. You're driving on main thoroughfares. You're driving in neighborhoods. After about 45 minutes, your tester is going to have a clipboard. I can't show you. They have a clipboard. It says Final Skills Road Evaluation. Example, the following dangerous maneuvers will result in automatic failures. Okay? You have to have a score of under 25. Is going over the speed limit an automatic failure? Yes. Speeding 10 or more over the limit, automatic failure. Disobey regulatory signs, automatic failure. Teacher has to intervene. You're about to hit a car. Have to turn the wheel, automatic failure. Driving a dangerous maneuver. You pull out in front of a car. I see more questions. Let's keep going. Will you still take the road test? If it's really bad and the weather conditions are bad, no, they will reschedule. You're never going to drive in dangerous conditions. But we live in a cold weather climate. Okay, later in November, December, it's going to be minus 20. If you have a road test and the roads are clear, you're going to be taken with ice on the road and snow. Thank you for the badges. Let's keep going. Let's get to 20K. What's up? Thank you, Mo. How you doing? Thank you, Mo, for the 5 roses. Real talk. Mo, follow me. I'll follow you back. I got you, Mo. Let's go with these questions. Keep putting questions in. Back in the day, my grandma failed her parallel park 3 times. They just gave it to her. Everyone is different. I can't speak for myself. Question, when you're taking your road test, use your car. Do you have to tell them before that it works? They will see if it's working. They will check the headlights, the taillights, the blinker. They will check the windshield. You got to have a quarter tank of gas. Let's put more questions in. You have to identify targets. You have to search 15 to 20 seconds ahead. Okay, I have the knowledge right here. So most of you are asking, is the road test the same location as the paper test? No, they're third-party road testers across the country. When you go to the DMV, you're going to get a pamphlet, and it's going to have available road testers throughout the country. How do you back in while parking? Like backing in your driveway. You put the car in reverse, You look over your shoulder, you turn your wheels to the right, the front swings to the left, the rear goes in. So you got to practice backing in your driveway. How fast should you be on the ramp? It depends on how small or big the ramp is. It could be 45, it could be 50. Some ramps are small. Will you get marked down if you have your blinker on too quickly? Yes, you will get marked down. Do you need to take a paper test because I never did on my road test? It depends. If you're older than 21, you will take a practice test at the DMV, and then you'll go take your road test with an approved tester. Every state is different, but most states have some type of knowledge test process. What is the passing grade for your written test? It's 56%. That's terrible. That means you missed over 25 questions. And we will make sure. What would you say is the most challenging thing for young drivers? All of you don't listen. You go the wrong way. You go too fast. You don't pay attention. You get distracted. So it's really important. So it's just all the above. You don't identify targets. You turn on the wrong blinker. You go too fast in the turn. It's really all of you. I'm here as an observer to guide us. I'm like your co-pilot. So all these things I just went over, okay? All these things I just went over, 11 pages of information. You don't come to a complete stop. You don't use the right lane, R-I-G-H-T. You speed or you go too slow, real talk. All of you do that. If the speed limit is 50 and you're going 40, we're a hazard. And what is going to happen, the lights is going to change. Give me a few more minutes. The light is going to change. You're either going to have to slam brakes or run the light. A lot of you are staring at the speedometer. Next, poor steering control. Some of you are driving with one hand. Low key is dangerous. You make me nervous. Put both hands on the wheel. I'm preparing you for your road test. Failure to yield a right of way. You panic at stop signs. Other drivers will blow through the stop sign. But what is the amount of points you can get? It depends. The location we're at is 25. After 25 points, automatic failure. In California, I believe it's 15. Every state is different. You turn into the wrong lane. You don't check blind spots. We were on the expressway today, and I believe Sophia was driving, and she checked her blind spot, and there was a car right at our blind spot. Our lives were saved. Thank you, Sophia. Our lives were saved. Real talk. You can't parallel park. You hit the curb. When Sincere was driving, people started clapping. Oh my God! Oh my God! They started clapping. I'm like, Sincere, bro, you on fire. Sincere did a good job, and he's a nice guy. You stop too close to vehicles. You speed. Improper merging. You run red lights. Okay, let's keep going. That's again, I'm just looking through. You ignore what the examiner says. In a way, I'm your road test examiner because I try to treat that environment like it's a road test. I want to say thank you. I really enjoyed this live. Please follow me. Look at my videos. Bye, guys. Guys, I really appreciate it. Let's switch gears. You need to work on 215. You have 215 pre-test words. Guys, thank you. Bye. Okay, you're going to do the pre-test. Let me switch screens a second. Let me stop sharing. I thought it was real. I try to go over everything you need to, and let's look at what you got to do now. All right, let me share screens. You got to do some work. You have 27 minutes. I'm going to share. Okay, you have to do this. You got to do the pre-test. You're going to do 100 questions today. You won't see me tomorrow because I have my segment too. Okay?